Okay, the second part of this lesson is actually proving lines parallel. So these are all new note cards, but they will sound very familiar. So we call these the converse. Okay, what that means is the if and the then are switched. So you'll see the if part and the then part in each of these is the same as before, but the if and the then part has flopped. So let's look at the first one together. If two lines are cut by a transversal and the alternate interior angles are congruent, then we can prove the lines are parallel. Okay, so now I know the angles, so the lines are parallel. Before, we knew the parallels, so we knew the angles. We're just flip-flopping them. The second one says if two lines are cut by a transversal and you can show the corresponding angles congruent, then you can prove parallel. The third one, if two lines are cut by a transversal and your alternate exterior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. And the fourth one says if two lines are cut by a transversal and your same side are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. So again, look for the angles. If you can prove the relationship, then they're parallel. We do have two other ones. The first one here, if two lines are perpendicular to the same line, then they are parallel to each other. So let's put some letters in here. So this one says if A is perpendicular to L and B is perpendicular to L, then A and B have to be parallel. Okay, this one says, let's do A, B, C, L. If two lines are parallel to a third line, then they are parallel to each other. So if A is parallel to B and B is parallel to C, then A is parallel to C. This kind of looks like transitive, but this is what we use for parallel lines. So in this example, you couldn't use transitive. You can't use transitive with parallels. So this is the reason that you would use instead of transitive. Okay. So it says, given L is parallel to M, find the measure of each missing angle. Explain why X is not parallel to Y. So if these are parallel, we know that this is 102, which means this would have to be 78 because of linear pairs. So these two angles right here are not the same, and so they can't be congruent. So we can say something like the corresponding angles. I wish there were some letters on here so we could identify them. With measures 78 and 138 are not congruent. Therefore, the lines are not parallel because if two lines are cut by a transversal and corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. Is not